Apparently he's got some crazy
who was the only jungler up until now to replace him with Hazle. So already some big shoes to fill. And his very first game after coming into Malaysia is against the top team. Let's see what kind of play style Aero Esports will shift into with their brand new jungle and the return of Aaron in the EXP lane as we jump into the draft for game number 1. So they clearly have some plans.
Also means that they're giving over Moskov to the other end.
Like the Arcus is also pretty scary. Looks like they'll go for the joy.
A bit of a... Do they want to go for CC? No, they just
want your opponent mid laner to options for SRG OG at this hope. Make sure that Aero doesn't have more.
Aero now finishing off the comp again, as expected, with that got out ban coming in from Coach Bomb. Pretty straightforward draft all across the board.
Okay, I can see pros and
not even the link to who control opposite directions of the map. Because it's important that they cover Stormy on the Kimmy, especially for the early levels. As much as Kim will technically lose out in priority, once you start to get the roamers involved, it's really dangerous because he, at level 1, can't really cover this.
For season 15, up against the Giants of MPL Malaysia. Let's see who comes out on top in our very first game of the King-making week.
Let's see who's going to get first blood this early on into the game, right? And as expected, you can see that Yulm's just trying to make sure that Zequeef gets chunked out as hard as possible. But an early quad shadow coming up from Hazle is going to force Yums to flicker. Again, 2 big wins coming in from Aero Esports. They don't force out any regenerates from that mid lane, except for Zequeef. They managed to get a flicker out of Yums, and most importantly, they also have information on where exactly Sakai's is going to end up.
So far, it's a pretty even trade. Yums is going to have more prio than Zequeef, but Kim is going to have more prio than Stormy in these first few levels. So that means no one is going to straight up win mid lane too early on. I don't think either side... Oh! Nice.
Every one of these auto attacks is going to hurt, but here comes Hazle.
Innocent in trouble. Already uses the Purify early. Tries to share the damage with Wave.
Already have it. Now it's a matter of how much damage he can
knock back Yums. Boris Pathway comes out into Traction Pulse. Real world manipulation baited out as well. Cram baiting a lot of damage, dropping quite low now, but Turtle is still in control. Aaron will secure first blood. Sky's not quite able to get Turtle in range yet, so here comes Hazle. Steals the Turtle away. Ogi Shadow Kill comes out into Fist Crack. It's a 4-man kill from Aero.
Bad call coming in from SRG OG Esports. Aero played it very nicely, right? Yes, the Fulvius is already up in your face, but with Hazle
estimated or overestimated in this case how long Cram could buy time, especially with all the level 4s on Aero already available. That is actually a pretty sizable lead in the early game. And we're seeing Hazle's impact, even the Litho, just being stolen away.
Yep, his tempo is really good right now. He's got a 2-level into the game. I think that SRG OG Esports, the only way they're going to recover from this is if they start getting EXP to share the EXP 3 ways.
Another glorious pathway in the mid lane. Aaron zoning SRG OG out from their way.
Island, Aaron, again, as long as he's absorbing.
Now, already setting up for the next turtle, knowing that SRG puts a big priority over.
Right? SRG OG now looking for a pick.
They're going to be setting up for it. Aero Esports still in control of the turtle. Traction Pulse actually going to miss in the mid lane. Yums cannot quite find the kick. Aaron's just standing too far forward. Here comes Sky, sets it up, finds the way of the dragon, kicks Hazle away. Sky secures the turtle. Oh, he Shadow Kill finishes things off though. Yums going to be picked up straight away alongside Sky. And Aero Esports is chasing down the red giants. Cram going to be left behind.
However, I don't know why SRG OG Esports aren't just playing off of Yums' kick. They just need to find these big kicks, or if not, start split pushing across the map.
Well, so far, this is a very solid early game. We're to play for the weakness of their opponent. Sky is getting stunned repeatedly under his own tower by Zequeef and Aaron, and he's just gone.
No surprises there. Again, this is why they went on and holding the double flex. They just wanted to make straight away the raw their leads into the other lanes.
So far, this is one of the biggest early game net worth leads we have seen from any this season. Now the question is if Aero Esports are the scariest.
2K lead for Hazle.
Steal. Good disengage. Glorious pathway from Aaron. Just make sure they get out. Real World Millimeter comes out. It's a fist crack in the back line. And now comes the Ogi Shadow Kill. Cram buying time, but where is the time being bought? Because Hazle gets the killing spree on Yums.
The time and as well as the Pyro Spikes are not there for SRG OG Esports. And Hazle more than happy to take advantage of this slow tempo comp from SRG OG Esports. You want to play pickup? You better have the resources to make those
here. and the timing really starts things to close. SRG may have late game potential, but is it enough? Wave the Dragon under the tower. The team is struggling to keep up, but Traction Pulse will finally lock him down, and that is the shutdown for Innocent.
At least we get to see a taste of what SRG OG. They're about to lose mid T2 as well. This jungle is basically not within their control. And oh, here comes the conceal. They want something.
Yep, Aero Esports are looking for it. Glorious pathway. Humans will avoid it. Innocent in trouble. He dances over. He's not confident about getting back, so he gets picked up inside the real world manipulation. Stormy doing a good amount of poke damage, but here comes the rest of SRG from the flank. They're looking for Kim. Electrifying Beast picks him off in the backline. Kosei gonna be melted away as well. Aaron picks up the double kill, and here comes Hazle. The three-man fist break, but it's not quite enough. It's Graham picks up the shutdown. It's a triple kill for the SRG EXP laner as they look for the counterattack.
Unbelievable. The RNG, 3 continuous hits on the same target. It's split between 2 amongst 3 targets, which is very lucky for SRG OG, especially for people like Yums. Aero, their big problem is that when they wanted to go for these picks, they need to maintain battle lines, right? Because they've only identified 3 players on the top side of the map, so therefore, where are the other 2 coming from? Especially when we're talking about
Vision by Aero Esports. I think they thought that they could pick off the members of SRG there a little bit quicker and then reposition themselves, but it was not quite enough. Now they're looking for the Lord once again. Cram gonna reveal himself. Yoon goes in from lockup, baited out both ultimates from Kim and ZK. Sky's in the back, electrifying beast, but the Yogi Shadow Kill melting down SRG as well. Stormy already gone. A 3-man knockup coming in from Cram. Gonna get locked in with the wall again. The kick goes on to the Eve while Innocent breaks down Yums. That's gonna be 1-for-1 right now. Double kill going over to Hazle. But he gets the lockdown.
damage dealer, which he's completely fine with and has been for a long time. But then that, he needs to start trusting that Hazle will clean up these fights.
Oh, and speaking of Hazle, steals the purple buff and Skies at the same time.
Worth it, fast, and efficient. Information is power, and right now Hazle has not forgotten exactly when Skies' buffs come back up.
This gives Aero Esports great control over the Lord. Glorious pathway, cutting off SRG as well. Cram even can get locked up by the Lord. Traction Pulse though, pulls in 2. Here comes Cram into the back. Hazle gonna start working on it, but Cram getting dragged into the front by Aaron. That's a shutdown for Kosei. Aaron still holding the front as long as possible. As Stormy is picked off Milton with the double kill. They finally find 1 in return, but
max charge on his auto attack. Oh boy, it might be another solo kill on the Skies.
oh, Hazle, he has got his eye on this man. The Skies cannot escape. Mega kill for the Hayabusa.
Is there no conceal from Yums? No, they could not capitalize on this at all. They have to just give this up, right? With death timers still very wide, and Stormy will not be getting back in time. This is a free Lord for Aero Esports. Very good call.
In control.
And Hazle's not even using Sky Piercer, right? He's just raw damage, making sure the goal, but most importantly, Malefic Roar to maintain his tempo, right? Now, so guys, he detects something.
There he is again. Ogi Shadow Kill goes on in. This time Skies can share the damage, but he has to go back and oh! Hazle! Unstoppable! The ninja of Aero Esports flies in! Red Giants didn't even know what hit them. The mid inhibitor will fall as the Lord crashes in up top. And SRG have lost 2 towers in an instant. Traction Pulse into 2-man Jikudo when the crowd comes out from him, keeping him alive, but ZK not quite as lucky. And Innocent picks up the killing spree. Red Giants will keep themselves in the game for now.
That's the Malefic Gun difference here. They need
Incredible gameplay right now. Neither by giving an in knockup.
What?
Hazle able to quad shadow away. This man is too good.
What?
Glorious pathway comes out. SRG looking for the mid-tier 1 will eventually pick it up, but
that would have been enough to guarantee the traction beam to connect, guarantee the initial knock up afterwards. So many things. That could have raw damage dealt, keeping up with people like Innocent as well as Stormy. But at the same time, the 2 missing inhibitors, especially inhibitors on the long lane, SRG OG Esports have a lot more micro as well as macro to worry about.
And Aero Esports still not letting up, still making sure they're contesting every single buff to deny Skies as long as possible. He still has not hit.
So it's a game of information. They might have just found it.
Humes gets knocked against the wall, cancels his initiation. Aero Esports playing a great defensive positioning, and now walking back in to try and reclaim the Lord position once again.
No, they just take the space. This is exactly what Aero wants to do. There is no pressure of time. There is no pressure of the waves as well. So as much as SRG wants to sit on it, okay, do it for as long as you want. Oh, but they're rushing.
He's gonna rush it down. Glorious pathway comes out. Hazle gonna rejoin the fight. Guys, secures the Lord. The way of the dragon finds Hazle into the knockup from Cram, but he's still alive. Not enough damage to melt him comes out. Yikip will eventually fall. Mega kill going over to Bruno. And Kosei picks up killing spree, but instant minds double and pops the Wind of Nature.
OG. I think that even Aero wasn't expecting SRG to try and go for that big rush. I think that unfortunately they remembered.
Difference now is actually 0 basically, which means that it is anyone's game. Aero Esports still holding on to the tower advantage, but with the amount of damage, it actually does not matter much.
Yeah, especially if Hazle wanted to stay there, or more so, Kim can now get a little more aggressive this time round. Oh, these positions, it really comes down to whether SRG OG Esports finds that initial pick. And when they do find that pick, things will spiral out of image as soon as his Starlium is ready to go. Oh.
Protection Fall is gonna do some serious DPS to Kosei. All
the comp works so strange, and then you have an awkward amount of mid-game, and then when you get to the late...
Well, considering SRG OG's playstyle in the first place,
I mean, I guess, but also his build, right? He does, I will clean this up if given the opportunity. If I am not the target, at least the rest of my team members can guarantee that a majority of Aero Esports will be low.
It's a little bit of that Stormy influence, and also it kind of places
all objectives and numbers. Aero Esports, I mean, I have to agree.
If anyone can make it happen, it is going to be the Red Giants, but Aero Esports has really not made it easy for them. This is already a better performance than Vamos, than Monster, Vicious have put up against SRG OG thus far. Now this next Lord, gonna be a crucial one.
Gonna take their time with this. They know that Innocent can basically solo this Lord by himself, so they're gonna let him sit in the position first. He's got the Purify, so he can play pretty safe, but it's gonna be hard for Aero Esports to really counterattack Innocent unless they catch him sleeping or misclick. Right away.
Pulse scouts Hazle out. Very nicely played by Stormy there, making sure there's no Hayabusa flank, but Aero is 5-man strong. They see Skies up top. They're gonna blitz the Lord. They're gonna try and go for it. Tram is here providing info. Glorious Pathway slowing down Innocent. Yume's on the side. A flicker from Kosei just to be sure that Yumes isn't hiding somewhere. But here he comes, the 4-man knockoff into the Winter Crown from Grab. He's already zoning out Aero Esports. Innocent secures the Lord. And SRG OG catches them unaware. Zikif now left alone. RWM comes out just to make sure he doesn't get picked off. Hazle jumps back in with the Yogi Shadow kill, but he's not able to
give the position over to SRG OG Esports. And now all they have to do is slowly walk up, slowly look for positions, and more so, they should be playing through that mid lane rather than hiding back into the tightest corners of that southern brush.
And this is a little bit of a synergy problem from 2 new players coming into the roster after 3 weeks of MPL. Oh my goodness, Hazle loses half his HP before jumping into the Yogi Shadow kill. Just zones out SRG, tries to jump back in for Innocent, but he's left on a tiny sliver, and Skies gets the vengeance he's been looking for. That's a shutdown. He'll lose his own immortality in exchange. Will it be worth it? It is now a 4v4. Lord crashing in bottom. The flicker. Jikundo knocks up 2. Gets cancelled by the fist break. But Aaron is still stuck in the front line. Yume's going to take a lot from RWM. Skypiercer finishes off his immortality while Aero continues controlling the Lord. The game will not end just yet.
No, it won't, but again, you can see how much it is a bit of a struggle to actually deal with this Lord, even with Kosei and as well as Kim working on it side by side. Stormy, he does some very relevant damage now.
Conceal comes out once again. The mid inhibitor will fall. SRG wants to try and end here before Hazle comes back. Winter Crown denies the traction pull. A knockoff onto ZK from Pram. Gets knocked back with the fist break once again. Aero doing an excellent job of just zoning SRG
towards SRG OG Esports' side, right? With a long lane missing an inhibitor from Aero Esports, a Lord steal. But most importantly, they need to take out Sakai's, and they've got many people who can actually do that when it comes
in the first place. We can see they're reverting a little bit back to that defensive, reactive playstyle that Aero is known for in the later game stages. It's good for base defense, but can they win the game like this? Aaron gonna get kicked straight away. Revitalize comes out. Here comes Hazle from the side. Ogi Shadow kill. The 4-man stun. Gonna get locked down. Yumes is gone. Mega kill for Kosei. Pram loses immortality. Lord dropping low. Stormy has the flicker back all the way. And Pram gonna be finally picked off by Hazle. Skies trying to dive in, but it's a double kill for Hazle. A shutdown on Innocent. Unstoppable for Kosei. And they will catch Stormy as well. He's the only survivor standing for SRG OG. We are looking at history being made. Aero Esports, now the first team to threaten the Giants' throne. Aaron will fall, but so will Stormy. He'll only be able to prolong for a little bit longer. The first game taken from SRG OG in season to Aero Esports.
Nicely done from Aero Esports. They finally found the initiation that they were looking for. They just needed to activate. I gotta give it to them. Hazle, a perfect pickup for their side, allowing that early game to go the way they wanted to. They